because we instantly felt safe knowing the first day we were there, knowing they were hardcore about stickers, picking up your kid, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, even one of the guys said, there was a divorce going on, and we wanted to make sure the wife or whoever was supposed to pick the kids up had the ticket to pick them up. Anyways, all this results in Ted Cruz. He's got to have a ticket.
Right, and he doesn't have a ticket, and he's trying to say, look, come on, guys. I've been in America my whole life. I was born in Canada, whatever. That don't make no never mind. But I'm an American citizen. I'm natural born because my mother was a. But these aren't the rules that were set up by the founding fathers, and I believe that all the evidence that I've seen, the arguments that I've seen, and the evidence presented as to what exactly the founding fathers meant by natural born is extremely compelling. Extremely compelling. I mean, you've got to watch that P.P. Simmons video. It is very compelling. It's very, it makes you realize that it probably was the way that they present it, which is that natural born means that not only were you born in America, but both your parents were American citizens.
Right.
And they could be both foreign born. So, but anyway, so we kind of rehashed that a little bit. But like you said, you can't deviate from those rules.
No matter how nice of a guy he is, because once you do it one time, now the precedent's been set.
And it's a shame because, like I said, I think Cruz would make a great president. But then again, I thought that Mitt Romney would be a good president, but he didn't get to be president. So stop your crying and move on and stop skirting the rules. It's annoying.
Right. Well, I will tell you this much. Against Glenn Beck, I think Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan would have been better than Barack Obama on his second round.
Mitt Romney would have been
his second round. And like you said, VPs don't really count for anything. So we could have locked Paul Ryan up in a box and he never gotten out. Now he's out and on the loose.
Well, the sad thing about the Paul Ryan debacle is that, and we've said this on previous episodes too, we thought he was the conservative pick. And we went to one of his stump speeches here in Cincinnati.
Were we fooled or what?
Oh, my gosh. He looked us all dead in the eye, and he started spouting all this pro-Tea Party stuff. That he went through Tea Party talking points.
Right.
He was lying through his teeth. He's a liar.
Liars. To get us to believe what he wanted us to believe, which was a lie.
Yep, he's a liar. So what happened this week? We had a debate, which I went ahead and boycotted. Sort of.
Where did you go? And why did you go there?
Well, it turns out Donald Trump decided to do a fundraiser for the Wounded Warrior vets in Iowa. And it was kind of, we thought it was going to be a stump speech, but it turns out it was more of an event for, that kind of highlighted the Wounded Warrior veterans and all that kind of stuff. So that was that was the event that he did, and he raised a lot of money for it. I don't know the exact dollar amounts,
but almost six. There was reports between 5 and 6 million.
Right, and in the meantime, some of his campaign people from all the different states sent out a mass email to all of his supporters, all of Trump's supporters, and decided we're going to have viewing events all throughout Ohio, and I'm sure the other 50 states had viewing events too. And I noticed that some of the key people that run the Trump campaign in Ohio were going to be in the one that was closest to my house. So I decided, well, I guess I'll join the boycott and go and watch the event at this party,
right,
in Cincinnati. And
well, if you listened here live on Smith Radio, we did a special episode to where we actually streamed it live here on Smith Radio. So if you go to smithradio.com, you like the page, you sign up. It's a Spreaker thing. It's an easy, simple thing. You'll get notifications on your smartphone telling you when Smith Radio has gone live. And you also get information on past shows, as well as if you want to get it on the run, you can pick it up on iheart.smithradio.com as well. So during that for Wounded Warriors Project, the fundraising, Trump was attacked by liberals and conservatives alike for pandering, saying, "You've never done this before. This is despicable, despicable." And a news report came out by Fox, maybe. I don't know. And you'll understand why I'm laughing. The report came out and said the title of the report said, "Veterans turn fundraising away from Trump. Will not accept Trump's fundraising." And I said, "What?"
Yeah, this was interesting. When Brian first told me that, I thought, "Oh, that sounds bad."
But this sounds real bad, because then all of a sudden
veterans turn away Trump fundraiser money.
Right. So I got into the article, and all of a sudden it became crystal clear.
I think you said it was Fox, didn't you?
Yeah, it was crystal clear. They said the veterans for Afghan and the veterans for Persian veteran of Persian War, Afghan veterans, those two specific organizations, they grabbed screenshot of their Twitter account tweeting, "We will not accept money from Trump in his fundraising."
But the fundraising was not for that organization at all.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they were complaining. "Oh, man, we're not getting no money from Trump."
Oh.
So Fox News spun it and said, "Look, veterans are turning away. They don't want the money."
Right. It turns out the fundraiser was for the Wounded Warriors, and they had no problem accepting the money.
And there was a really articulate individual that spoke mostly. He had one leg, and the cameraman hated him because he said, "You know what? I got one leg and I walk. I like to walk around. I'm on the move. I talk better when I'm moving." And he went from one side of the stage, literally lightning speed, to the other side, and then back to the other side.
He pulled the mic out of the... Yeah. Oh, boy.
He was running back and forth across the stage with one leg and one fake leg, and the cameraman was doing everything he could to keep up with him. It was an emotional speech. It was great. Apparently, the statistic is that 22 service members commit suicide every day. So there's a special organization that they call the 22, and 3 of the Wounded Warrior Project members were on stage and presented Donald Trump with a special 22 ring, if you will, in memory of 22 servicemen committing suicide every day. And we need to stop that. And the way we stop that is by getting the government out of this healthcare system. Why don't they give every military member a special get out of jail free card?
Get out of hospital for free.
Right. You go to any hospital you want in the entire America, entire U.S. of A. Present that card and you get serviced.
Yeah, and I've heard somebody pitch that idea before.
Just make it very feasible. You would probably save so much money on the paperwork and the logistics and all the admin work.
The big thing is that hospitals are not owned by the government, and I know there's a lot of millennials out there that are like, "What? What? You mean that's not a government building?"
Well, it should be.
So these are private things, these hospitals, and by making like these big VA hospitals, which is a government hospital, that's what a VA hospital is, it just turns this big socialist mess into a big financial quagmire, and it becomes way too expensive. Just make honestly, you could even go further. What you're suggesting is a government entity that acts as an insurance, medical insurance for service members and former service members, so that they can go and get health care at a private hospital.
No.
No?
Just give them a card, an ID card, that says, "I'm a service member and I qualify to get medical anywhere I want, at any hospital I want."
Well, that's what it is.
And when they swipe the card or they take the card, they then bill the government at the exact rate that everybody else gets billed. They bill the government, and the government pays them.
Right. So it would be a an insurance for the government, but the government pays the premium and deductible.
Correct.
So it would be completely universal health care for the actual service member.
Right, which would be better than what they got now.
Okay. I would be for some sort of a copay so that they're just not being stupid. Like, I got the sniffles, so I got to go to the emergency room.
Well, that's what they do anyways to the VA.
Well, do they? The sniffles?
No, I mean, you can go to the VA for any reason, anytime.
I got a little runny nose. I got to go to the emergency room?
You can go to the VA and say, hey.
But you're back to the VA.
I got no place to stay.
You're sad. Well.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, you could abuse the VA. Well, not only that, but the guy say, hey, man, the VA is closed. What are you doing here? No, dog, I've been here 3 days. I'm still on a waiting list.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
we're closing. I know, they haven't gotten to me yet.
Right.
Okay. No, but what I'm saying is you could take it a step further and say that have a private insurance company, and the government only pays the premiums and deductibles to a private company that the service member gets to choose.
Okay, the problem I've got with that, then that private company has been handpicked.
No. The service member can choose it.
Oh, they can choose any private company
and
they
make
want.
it a law
Okay.
that they have to accept them, and they just charge the government for the premium and the deductible.
Right. Because, I mean, otherwise, I was thinking, if you collect unemployment in the state of California, you receive a Bank of America unemployment credit card. Bank of America receives every single state and federal dollar for all unemployment payments, lands in their bank. They hold it for 24 hours.
So they can collect.
Yes!
Wow.
How many billions of dollars is that in percentage of revenue?
I don't know, but that, yeah, you're right. So
One bank.
It's like a monopoly.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot allow government to create monopolies, and that's the big problem we have with every time you hear, and I've been seeing this a lot on, I get in these big debates on YouTube comment sections. And when it comes to socialism versus capitalism, one thing that I've noticed that these millennials are very confused by, anytime there's a problem with any kind of big businesses, they believe that big businesses that act as a monopoly is the reason capitalism fails. What they don't realize is that the reason they've been able to get the power and monopoly and all that and size that they've been able to get is because of the corruption of the government.
Right. The payoffs.
Government,
the backdoor payoffs.
Yeah, they're the ones that enabled that. If they got out of the way, the monopoly could have never formed to begin with.
Right.
So,
okay, so let's go back to Trump skipping the debate. He called Fox News out from last week when we reported where Megyn Kelly got together with National Review.
We haven't had a chance to report on this, right, at all. We haven't been on the air since all this went down, so we should walk through it.
We talked a little bit about it.
Not on the air.
Last week?
No, because he didn't boycott, or he didn't decide not to go to the debate till later in the week. So let's walk through it.
Okay, well, we did talk about how Megyn Kelly was coming out last week and courting National Review, and how they came out with an article bashing Trump and the 22 people that sent in articles, number one Glenn Beck and all these other ones that sent in, and then Trump said, they're a bunch of hacks.
Right.
And it's a dying paper. Nobody's even reading it anymore. And for truly, nobody is reading it anymore. And it backfired, did nothing for the paper. By the way, the new numbers for that magazine, for that particular issue, complete and utter failure.
I'm not surprised.
It did not fly off the shelves.
I'm not surprised by that.
So then Megyn Kelly got together with Michael Moore.
Whoa, let's back up a little bit. We got to go back to the point where...
The first debate?
Before that. No. I'm talking about... Michael Moore was this week.
Right. I'm leading up to this debate.
We got to go back to the reason Trump decided not to do the debate.
Okay.
We didn't go through that last week because he didn't say